Hi everyone, been making some progress with this journal. So this is the third part and up to the stage where I wanted to show you what I've done with the base pages and the interactives. I haven't glued anything in yet, so at the last stage I stitched in the 3 signatures on pages 1, 3 and 5. And I decorated some of the pages, so I'll just quickly show you the progress, and then I'm going to, off camera, I'm going to decorate it with my massive pile of vintage scraps, and I will show you the decorated journal. And then the final stage will be to start adding photographs and ephemera and papers and so on of the family history, and using some of the journal pages to record the stories and the information about that. So this is the front page. I've just used just a piece of scrap that's going to be a pocket. I've inked everything up. I'll decorate the back pages and then glue the pocket in. We've got the first signature, which is stitched in. And then using another piece of scrap, this will be a pocket in that front page. I do know in the box of photos that I'm going to use to decorate this, I do know there are some really large photos of weddings and, you know, professional photography that was done years ago, so that will be good. I can tuck a big board in there and have large photos in those big pockets. That's page 1. On the back of page 1, you saw me attach these two. These were scrap pieces. I've made a third piece, just making it the same spacing there. So I've made a third piece, and to keep that closed, I just used a piece of scrap, and that will have a magnet on it to hold that page closed, so you've got lots of space for photos of different sizes. And I could add a pocket there yet. I'll just see how I go with what I've got. This is the gatefold page. So this is going to open up. There'll be a pocket in there with a large card tucked in it. And then this will close with these 2 triangles being glued along the edges, and then this board will come in and tuck in to that pocket, so that's ready to go. Then on the back of that page, I just used a piece of paper and made a 1/2 inch score, and that will tuck inside that pocket page there. And that will just be a pull out there, and then a piece of scrap. Again, I just made a 1/2 inch score, and that will go on the other side so that there's lots of room to flip photographs and information. This is just another one of those small scraps on the top of the journal page. It will become another pocket. There's that next signature. And then I'm leaving that at the moment. I don't know, I'm wanting to see how bulky it gets with all the extra decorative papers on it, to see whether I've got room to add any more pockets, in which case I can add a pocket there. And we turn that over. This was just another piece of the scrap cut off, so I've made that a pocket that will go down the bottom. And this was another piece of scrap. I've just got a 1/2 inch score that will go on the top, and I've cut this so that it meets this pocket. And then what will happen is, I don't have any large scrap around, I'll be able to slot a card into the pocket that will keep that lid closed. So that's that page, and again, I'm not putting anything on until I start with the decorative papers. Then I created this page in the last video with you, and it's the photo flip that I made with all of the offcuts, the scrap, and I ended up cutting 1 inch off the end of them all just to make that a little bit shorter. I like the look better. So they will all flip, and then there's a belly band where I can tuck something in there. So that page is ready to go. The back of this page, I just grabbed some old envelopes and I'm going to make an envelope flip. I'll try and lay this so you can get the idea. So I've basically taken each envelope and put a piece of masking tape on the back of it where it's going to be hinged and torn, because these these are only fairly thin paper and I don't want that to rip. So basically you'll have, these will all be decorated obviously, and you'll have, each one will flip open and have a little card or a letter in it. So you'll have just staggered envelopes, and then there'll be some decorative, something decorative behind them. So they're just from the junk envelope box. I've got a massive box of envelopes that I've been collecting. Some of them are just from birthday cards, odd stuff, things people have given me. This back page again will probably have a pocket of some sort on it. That's the last signature there. And again, I haven't decorated that page yet, waiting just to see how much this album bulks out, but that's room for something else if I want. And then the back page I'm leaving for the moment as well. I have used all of the scrap card that I've got, so I'll show you what I've got left. So everything that I cut down, this was the big pile of papers that I had, so I've used a lot of that, and then this is all that's left, bits and pieces of scrap. So I haven't cut any new card yet, and as I said, when I've got it all decorated, I'll know how much space I've got to add extra elements. Now I haven't got the box of photos in my possession yet, but I do know that there's a whole lot of slides, the old slides. And so what I thought, on the signature pages there's this little space, and I do have a lot of elements that I've shown you before, these things like these little tag accordion envelopes, which there's a video of, and they're full of all little bit stamps and labels and so on, and these are a little bit bulkier, so I'll turn it sideways and show you. So there's a little bit of bulk. So I could make some of those and tuck them into pockets to fit using all of the papers. They would be nice. I've also got a lot of these little tags. Again, they've got little note papers in the back and they could tuck into little pockets. I've got lots of bits and pieces that will look really nice. And the slides, I don't have any with me, but what I was thinking was, when I turn it on its side, you can see that there's a little gap there on those 3 signature pages, and I'm thinking it looks to me like it will be the perfect size for those slides, in which case I can make a little holder to slot the slides in. You can pull them out and shine a torch behind them and project them onto a wall. So I thought that space would be nice for that. So, and that will work on quite a few of those pages. So the next job is to start going through all the papers that I've got. So I'll just move that aside, and here is my very impressive, massive pile of scrap papers in the vintage theme. These are some of the leftover tea dyed bits and pieces. There's scrapbook paper, brown paper, little bits pulled out of books, lots of music paper. There's a whole lot of ephemera that you know, this will work perfectly, that I'll be able to add in there, tags and corner tucks and all sorts of stuff. This is all the printable stuff, lots of these little ruffles and things that I've got in there. And There's all sorts of stuff here that I can use. And this is all the scraps in the vintage theme. So I'll use a lot of this. Some of it's little offcuts and weird bits of scrapbook paper and so on, down to these little skinny strips that have been cut off. So what I will do is I will go through now and add the decorative papers to this and add some of the embellishments that I think work really well, and get my hands on this box of old photos and see if the idea with the slides works. So for the moment, these pages, for example, this one I wanted to put a pocket on, I'll leave that for the minute until I can see whether I can get the slides to fit on the same side where the signature sits, because that's where the space is. So I'll leave that for the minute. I'm just going to pull that off, and then I can decorate the backs of everything, and I'll leave that one blank as well because that's another signature, and that last page as well, until I see if I've got the slides and whether they will fit there. I'm pretty sure they will from the look of it. So I'll be back when I've got it decorated. Here's the journal now with a lot of the base decorating done, and it's ready now for me to start putting the photos in. A lot of the photographs are old black and white photos or professionally shot sepia tone photos. So I'll show you quickly through what I've done and how I've finished off the base pages. So this will be the first page. This is the part that's going to get glued to the front cover. This is the thickness of the journal now, so it's a nice size, I think. Here's the front cover. This is just going to be a photo card that slots into that pocket. A lot of the previous videos I've done before in making the ephemeras I'll mention quickly. That's the vintage paper flowers. This was the beautiful vintage ephemera. And you can see that from the scrap papers I've basically just picked up at random, inked things and glued them down. So every page is like a collage. So that's the first page. You open it up and there's another pocket on the back with another photo card there, and just a spare tag tucked in. Now, I won't go through all of the signature pages, but I've basically just glued in a lot of ephemera, popped on some envelopes, more, that's the beautiful vintage ephemera stuff, added little tags to the shorter page. I've added page wraps to, this is a very flimsy page just to strengthen that up, and glued some envelopes in, ready to just tuck some things in them, sealed up the envelope and put some new vellum in it, added little page tabs where need be. This page had some green printing on it, so I just popped an envelope with a little card in it. That's just from book page. And so I've done that with all of these signatures. Each signature has one of these. These were the vintage photo pockets, and so I've put a photo card in there, page tabs on anything that sort of folds over. So that's the only signature I'll show you. This is one of the gaps that I've got, and I did mention previously that I've got the old slides, the little square slides that you can hold up to a wall and shine a torch behind and see the image. So I'll be able to pop some of those in there when I get them. And then this is one of the vintage, what was this one called? This was the vintage expanding tag pocket. So these are little accordion style pockets. This one's filled with labels and bits and pieces that you can use to decorate the journal. So I liked that one to be in there. It's got this little butterfly closure on it. And I've added some magnets to the back, and that just clips in to that little spot. Just sits in there and stays with the magnets. It's not going anywhere. So that's page 1. This page has got the magnetic closure on it, and then it's got the pages that flip and a pocket there with another photo board. That I haven't decorated this yet. This is the next one. This is the gatefold page. It's held closed with this board in these two pockets. They flip open, and there's another pocket with a photo board on it. And of course all of these will be decorated with photos. Here's some of the, you know, by the time you add a few photos here and there, you won't see a lot of the board, and it will just be a nice background image. So that's that page, and that board holds that closed. This page I've got, this was one of the vintage flip with tucks and hidden journaling. So you open that, there's a couple of little pockets with things tucked in it, and then that flips up and you've got space to put more photos or notes. So that's that page. This opens and you've got a photo board in a corner pocket. It opens again this way, you've got room for more photos, and then there's one of these. I've made this a long time ago and had it sitting there, so that fits nicely in a pocket there, and then that flips open and there's room for more photos on that, and all held closed with magnets again. Here's another one with the signature in it, just a photo pocket. You open it up and there's another pocket with a photo board and another signature, and I just use magnets to close this one up, and so that all flips open with lots of space for different pieces, and again it's held closed, so when you go to turn the page that doesn't move. That's another signature, and flip it over again. This page is held closed with a photo board, then the top will flip up and you can put more in the pocket there. I've got a really nice letter that will go in there. I think they will fit really well. These are the photo flips. Again, these are held closed with magnets, so two flip out that way, two flip out that way. This is the belly band with another photo mat in there. This still does have the pocket opening. I haven't decided whether I'm going to put something in there yet. I think it'll probably be too bulky. This is the envelope flip, and I've just decorated one side of each envelope, so they all flip out. They're all different sizes. I've left the backs plain, and then there's room in the back. I can add a pocket and put something else in there, but I'll wait until I've filled each one of the envelopes to see how bulky that page is, and I've just got a magnet to close that. And then this is the last page with another pocket and a photo board and another signature, and room here again for the old slides. And the back page I've done another gatefold, so this is the photo board that will hold it closed. These two flip out and there's room for another pocket or photos there. I think given how bulky it's already is, so when at this stage, this is the spine here, and when that's glued into a journal, it's already reasonably full, so I don't think I'll end up putting anything in the two pages where there's a pocket in the middle. So that one and that one, you could slide something in there, but I think I'll just close them up. So that's the journal. I'm ready to start putting the photos in it, and I thought you might be interested just to see now what's left. So of the board, I've only got two pieces of this board, and they're the scraps. So I really did try to use everything. And then my massive pile of papers, if you can remember, has been reduced to, you know, a handful of small bits and pieces, which will go into the scrap drawer again. These are the larger sort of papers, the full-size tea-dyed papers that I didn't use, so there's not too much left over. So I think I've done a pretty good job in scrap busting. And then I've got now ready this little pile of stuff, which are things like photo frames. There's this little packet of vintage stuff, vintage ephemera, some corner pocket, photo corners that might look nice. This is just little bits and pieces that I can use to decorate once I've put photos in, and a few little bits and pieces there ready, little slide holders and so on. So I'm ready now to start adding the photos. Oh, there's some more ephemera, and these are a packet of photo frames. So I'm ready now to start adding the photos, and I'll give you a final quick look when I've done that.